how hard do we work for our money? If a person loses $10,000, what happens to him? Have you ever seen a person that just lost $10,000? He got stolen 10 grand. He was in the mosque and he lost 10 grand. What happens? You find him, he's there. He's not here. Habibi, what's wrong? He's about to faint. People die in the stock exchange, sah? They hear the news, you lost $1 million. Boom, death. He dies on the spot. Why? He works so hard for this money. Have you ever seen a person crying in the mosque? Crying in the mosque. What's wrong, brother? He goes, Wallah, I missed Salat al-Fajr. Say he's crazy. See this man, Wallah, he's lost the plot. He's crying in the mosque. Why? He's missed Salat al-Fajr. So what? Crying. Take it easy. You're an extremist. This is extremism. You are a terrorist. What? It's too much. Crying because of Salat al-Fajr. But 10 grand. Yeah, understand. If you lose a kid, people understand. You lost your car, people understand. But you missed Salat al-Fajr in the mosque. What's the story? Less than 1% of the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam nowadays pray Fajr in the masjid. And what did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? He said, وَلَوْ عَلِمَ النَّاسُ مَا فِي الْعَتَمَةِ وَالصُّبْحِ لَأَتَوْهُمَا وَلَوْ حَبْوَةً. If people only knew the reward of praying Fajr and Isha in the masjid, coming to Fajr Salat and Isha Salat, they would come crawling. What would make you crawl from your house to Lakimba Mosque? Ask yourself. Let's understand. Let's read between the lines of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah is saying sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you knew the reward of Fajr Salah and Isha Salah, you would come even if you had to crawl. You will come on your hands and knees. What would make you? Ask yourself. If I say to you, Habibi Allah, if you come crawling from your house, I'm going to give you $5. Will you come? If I make an announcement, anyone that comes crawling from his house to the mosque will take $5. Will anyone come? Crawling? If I say $1,000 in Australia, probably, nah, man, are you serious? Who cares? No, I'm not going to come crawling from my house. But if I say $1 million, ya baba, you will find Sydney like a zoo. Sah? Why? $1 million, like I'll come on my head. $1 million. Sah wa la? Rasulullah is saying, if you knew the reward of Fajr, you would come crawling. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means simply that Salat al-Fajr is more valuable than $1 million. It's more valuable than $1 million. Who's saying this? Who is saying this to us? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. What does this mean? It means that Salat al-Fajr is more valuable than $1 million. Have you ever seen a man that lost $1 million? Oof. Who said? He will die. People will die. So this is how we should feel if you miss Salat al-Fajr in the masjid. But what? This is where we test our hearts. What is really of value in your heart? Is it really deen, as you are claiming? Is the love of Allah and His Messenger, as you are claiming? Or this heart is full of dunya, full of love for worldly things? We love our parents, we love our wives, we love our kids, we love our houses, we love our cars, we love our money. True love, sincere love. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not speaking whether that is wrong, or don't misunderstand me. I'm saying, honey, don't love your parents or don't love your... No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what's this love compared to our love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or love of deen? What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the Quran? Words of Allah. So you don't say this guy is an extremist. We repeat, we speak the words of Allah. Allah is saying, قُلْ إِن كَانَ. Say, قُلْ إِن كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ وعشيرتكم وأموال اقترفتموها وتجارة تخشون كسادها ومساكن ترضونها أحب إليكم من الله ورسوله وجهاد في سبيله فتربصوا حتى يأتي الله بأمره والله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين. Say to them, O Muhammad, if your fathers or your brothers and your fathers and your sons and your brothers and your wives and your clan and your money, and your merchandise, and all these things, أحب إليكم are more beloved to you than Allah and His Messenger, and struggling and striving in His path, فَتَرَبَّصُوا, then wait for the punishment of Allah, as the ulama say. Wait for the punishment of Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not guide the fasiqeen. Al-fasiq is a person who is a sinner. Al-fusuq al-khuruj, he left the sirat al-mustaqim. He left that path. This is why we call him fasiq. Allah does not guide the fasiqeen. So this Allah is saying to us, our heart has seats. This heart has seats. It should have 3 seats. Allah and His Prophet and His deen. Number 1, front row. And then comes the rest. Our hearts now are upside down. Deen comes where in your life? The order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes where in your life? Not priority number 1. Things come first. This is what I say. If these 8 things are more beloved to you than Allah and His Messenger, and struggling and striving in His path, then wait for Allah's punishment. It's the word of Allah. Open the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The book of Allah is between us. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. Don't they ponder, don't they understand the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Don't they look deep into the words of Allah? أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Or have these hearts, or do these hearts have locks on them?